With the Champions League final looming large, most of the focus today will be on covering the mega clash. However, before we talk about the players Chelsea will be hoping to turn up against Manchester City, let's quickly go through some of the most important news bits from the last few days that include a shocking decision by Spanish national team manager Luis Enrique. Real Madrid are also set to make a major announcement in the coming days, while Gennaro Gattuso's future at Napoli has been sorted out. So before we go and start doing our thing, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell icon to make sure you're always notified every time we post something new. Gattuso gets the boot. Following Napoli's failure to qualify for Champions League football, club owner Aurelio De Laurentiis has decided to sack the head coach Gennaro Gattuso. The former midfielder's team needed to beat Hellas Verona in their penultimate game of the campaign, but were held to a draw at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. Napoli were held to a 1-1 draw, while Milan beat Atalanta to move into second, and Juventus thrashed Bologna to snatch the final Champions League spot, with De Laurentiis subsequently revealing that changes will now be made in the dugout. It remains to be seen where Gattuso will be headed now, but the World Cup winner has also been linked with a reportedly soon-to-be vacant post at Juventus. Zidane set to make Madrid decision. According to Marca, Zinedine Zidane is all set to make a final decision on his Real Madrid future soon. The Frenchman has a year left on his current deal, but after finishing the 2020-21 campaign trophyless, is assessing things. Meanwhile, Real Madrid are set to announce the arrival of Austrian international David Alaba in the coming days. The vastly experienced centre-back's deal at Bayern Munich expires in June, and he's been hotly linked with a move to Madrid. It must be mentioned here that Zidane's future at Madrid has no bearing on Alaba's decision, and the player apparently had his heart set on the move regardless. Spain squad comes with a shocking miss. We all knew that Spain boss Luis Enrique would be fielding in some new players for the country's upcoming European Championship campaign. However, little did we know that La Roja boss would make such a bold decision by not fielding a single Real Madrid player for the tournament. We might be wrong, but it's very rare to see zero Real Madrid representation for Spain at a major event. Such things normally never happen. Perhaps the biggest surprise was the exclusion of Sergio Ramos. In his place, Manchester City's Aymeric Laporte has been included after he switched allegiances from France. In Ramos's absence, Sergio Busquets has been named captain. While a lot of people will be infuriated at the decision, it's pertinent to mention here that Ramos has been unable to stay fit throughout the entirety of the current campaign. The veteran defender spent a lot of time on the sidelines this year and was nowhere near his best as Chelsea outplayed Real Madrid in both legs of the Champions League semi-final. While Enrique admits that the decision was never easy, we have to say that it was the right call. While Ramos has never missed a single international tournament for La Roja since Euro 2004, the veteran has missed a total of 35 games across all competitions for Los Blancos this year. He also underwent a successful knee surgery and started only 2 games this year. With so many fitness issues to deal with, it would have been risky to put him in the squad, especially if it meant to sacrifice a younger and 100% fit option. Surprisingly, Wolves man Adama Traore has been named in the squad as well, despite the winger's struggle in the Premier League this season. Spain have been drawn in Group E alongside Sweden, Poland and Slovakia. They will kick off their campaign against the Swedes on June 14th. Do you think Enrique made the right call by leaving out Ramos? Who do you think will pair up in the heart of defence for the Spaniards? Our money is on Laporte and Pau Torres or Diego Llorente. Chelsea's key players against Manchester City. In a few days, Manchester City will take on Chelsea in the final of this year's Champions League. Both teams really deserve their place in the final, and although a lot of people are already rooting for Manchester City to finally win the trophy their ownership wants so badly, it would be criminal to take Chelsea for granted. Since Thomas Tuchel took charge, Chelsea have been beaten only 5 times. The Blues are starting to show their true potential under the Germans' tutelage. The front line has started clicking at the right time, and if they can continue progressing and show their real selves, the Blues could end up defying all odds at the Estadio do Dragão. Interestingly, the last time Chelsea won this competition was back in 2012, in a season where they changed their manager mid-season. Who says lightning doesn't strike twice? Moreover, their recent wins over Manchester City show that this team should never be taken lightly. Throughout the starting 11, you see that Tuchel treats his players as specialists, and if things work out, these specialists improve the team's chances of success. So how about we talk a little bit about some of their key players for the final. Timo Werner. The German's first season in England has been eventful to say the least. He's struggled to adapt to the Premier League, and on social media, the chances he missed made him a laughingstock. The former Leipzig man has missed a lot of chances in front of goal, and his form continues to divide opinion. However, this doesn't mean that Werner is a bad player. He's scored 11 goals, provided 12 assists in 44 appearances this season across all competitions, and such stats clearly mean that Werner has not been as miserable as he's been made out to be. Of course, he hasn't scored 30 plus this season, but the forward's pace and ability to run between the spaces could be exactly the sort of thing that Man City's defenders won't be looking forward to. N'Golo Kante. The World Cup winner has proven to be one of the best holding midfielders on the planet, and he'll go down in the history books as one of the greatest. The Frenchman is on course to becoming one of those rare players who's won everything for club and country if Chelsea win the Champions League final and France end up winning the Euros. Kante is one of the hardest working players ever, eager to cover literally every blade of grass. The midfielder rarely gets tired. He's always busy, making a nuisance of himself, intercepting passes, cutting off supply lines, and then darting forward to add another body to the offensive cause. At the age of 29, Kante is at the peak of his powers, and in all honesty, for Chelsea to do well against Pep Guardiola's men, they really need Kante to be at his best. And you can be guaranteed that the former Leicester City man is going to give it everything in order to win a trophy that out of all the players in the world, he so richly deserves. Cesar Azpilicueta. At the age of 31, Cesar Azpilicueta is the last Chelsea player from that 2012 triumph over Bayern Munich. It would be quite the feat if he's able to guide his team to yet another European triumph. While he started out as a fullback this season, Azpilicueta has been fielded as a centre-back in most games. In the league win over Man City, Azpilicueta was fielded as a centre-back, and his positioning allowed the nullification of Sergio Aguero. We're likely to see the Spaniard be a part of a three-man defence, and his experience is going to be key for Chelsea to weather a storm they're most definitely going to be facing. Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic. When Chelsea signed Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen last summer, it was seen as a major coup for the London Giants, since the German wunderkind was attracting interest from all quarters. The youngster hasn't exactly had a memorable campaign, but he showed that he can become a big star in the future. With an ability to play any attacking role, no wonder Thomas Tuchel likes to field him in the starting 11 on a regular basis. Havertz and Christian Pulisic are likely to be vying for a starting spot, and both men do offer the team a different dynamic when they're on the field. Pulisic might have struggled with fitness this season, but the American forward has been a real live wire every time he's given the chance. With a willingness to take on defenders and the ability to conjure something out of thin air, both Pulisic and Havertz are the opposite sides of the same coin. Chelsea fans should be hopeful that the young duo is on song whenever they're called upon. Edouard Mendy. Mendy didn't return for the second half of the Blues' 2-1 defeat against Aston Villa on the final day of the Premier League season, after sustaining a knock in trying to save Bertrand Traore's first half goal at Villa Park. He earned himself the #1 status at Stamford Bridge, so you can understand why Tuchel will be sweating over the youngster's fitness. Mendy suffered a rib injury after colliding with the frame of the goal, and was replaced by the much-maligned Kepa Arrizabalaga. The incident happened 6 days before the Blues faced City. Mendy's kept 16 clean sheets in his first season in the Premier League, and you can expect Chelsea's medical staff to do all they can to make sure that he starts the game in Portugal. Mason Mount. Since returning to Chelsea, Mason Mount's ascent to one of the finest players in England has been nothing short of extraordinary. At the age of 22, the youngster is already the first name in Chelsea's starting 11 under both Lampard and Tuchel. The England international missed only 2 league games for the Blues this season and scored 6 goals and provided 6 assists. His displays in the Champions League have been equally good. Blessed with great technique and passing ability, Mount's importance to Chelsea can't be understated. Settling in as an attacking midfielder, Mount's ability to drift wide in order to bring the likes of Timo Werner and Kai Havertz into more central roles can create a lot of chaos in the opposition half, and it's this ability that Guardiola will be extremely worried about. Not only that, Mount has proven to be a really good dribbler and can carry the ball forward at a moment's notice. While he will need all the help he can get from his teammates, if Mason Mount is on fire in the final, there's no telling what Chelsea could do to Manchester City. Do you think that Chelsea have got enough firepower to end City's fairy tale season on a sour note? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe.